League presents Wasatch Wasps Baseball on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network. This broadcast is powered by Guild Mortgage, Dairy King, CarQuest Auto Parts, Physical at the Fit Stop, Wasatch Back Flooring, Napa Wasatch Auto Parts, Heber City Point S, Dorius Dental, and Bank of Utah.
Baseball.
The guy on first. Who? The first base. Who? The guy playing first.
Who is on first?
I'm asking you.
Now let's go live to the Diamond for play-by-play coverage of Wasatch Wasp Baseball on 94.5 The Peak.
Good afternoon and welcome to the ballpark. Tyler Baird and Tyler Moss live from Cottonwood High School here on 94.5 The Peak and HeberValleyRadio.com, getting you ready for Game 2 of the Best of 3 Super Regional round of the 5A state tournament. Wasatch was dominant yesterday, winning 12-1 over the Colts, and have set themselves up to only need one win today to advance to next week. But with success that Wasatch is experiencing, they have their eyes set on making a run next week, which means they really need to get a Game 2 victory today in this first one.
Yeah, and why that is, Tyler, is to avoid the pitching that would get strained because of the pitch count rules. So if you've got to go 2 games today, then you've got to use probably Jackson Kelson and Casey Anderson, and that would make you need to bring back Jackson Bolander or Cole Zimmerman, who hasn't thrown in a couple weeks, or Jackson Bolander on short rest on Monday against potentially the #1 team in the state, and that's a tall order here. So Wasatch, if you could script it up, Ty, what they're hoping is that Casey Anderson goes out and gets the win here in game number 2, and Wasatch advances, and then they wait and do the score-watching game to see who the opponent's going to be. It was upset city yesterday in the 5A state tournament. The top 3 teams won, and then after that, the next 5 matchups all had the underdog winning. Number 15, Brighton, got a win over Olympus. Wasatch at number 13 got the win over number 5, Cottonwood. Salem Hills, number 12, a win over number 6, Park City. Bountiful at number 10 got the win over number 7, Woods Cross, and then number 9, Orem beat number 8, Timpanogos. And so, Tyler, with all that being said, you can't really look into the crystal ball and say who Wasatch is going to play. But what you do know is the point you brought up is that you want to preserve pitching, because whoever you're going to get, it's going to be good. It's going to either be Lehigh, Spanish Fork, Jordan. It'll likely be one of those 3 teams, almost certainly at this point. And you really need your best guys ready to go there if you have a chance to knock them off. So they need game number 2, this one today, that's getting ready to go at 1 p.m. if they want to have a realistic shot to make a deep run next week.
You're listening to the Dairy King pregame show, winners of Best in State from 2008 to 2021, proudly serving the Heber Valley since 1946. It's time for your Gordon Law Group stat of the day, Ty, and I'm going to put it on you of which is better. Which has been better in the state tournament for the Wasps? Wasatch pitching so far, 19 innings pitched, 12 hits, 15 Ks, only 2 walks, and no earned runs. They haven't given up an earned run, and they're only averaging 10.4 pitches per game. Or the Wasatch hitting, 449 batting average, scoring 7.7 runs per game, 8 doubles. I've only struck out 13 times and 7 walks, which has been better so far in the state tournament between the Wasatch pitching and the Wasatch hitting.
Well, Ty, it's the pitching. You Wasatch, to put it a different way, you've outscored your opponent 24-1. Just counting all the runs across the board and the pitching. And the bats have been good, 8 runs, but it's been, a little mediocre pitching against Tooele specifically, although that Game 2 starter was pretty good. But the pitching has just been unbelievable. To get to this point and be 3 games into the state tournament and not having given up a single earned run, less than 200 pitches total for this pitching staff. I mean, it's the pitching. You got to nod your cap over there to Jackson Bolander and Jackson Kelson, and Gage Sheesh has 1 inning pitch there. But those are your 3 that have been on the mound for the Wasps, and the pitching has just been better than maybe you would even expect with what's already been a lights-out pitching staff this year.
The Gordon Law Group is your full-service local law firm practicing in all areas of the law. They take pride in saying, yeah, we do that. Just to throw out and put it in perspective, Ty, through 2 games now in the postseason this year, Jackson Bolander has, and correct me if I'm wrong, 122 pitches, right, is what he's thrown between the 2 games. Last year in Game 1 of the postseason against Lehigh, he had over 110. So Wasatch has been good and efficient and have been really just dominant so far in the state tournament. Let's go ahead and jump over to our Country Gardens and Nursery keys to the game. Ty, again, the worry is you've now beat this team twice, pretty easily both games. What does Wasatch need to do to secure this Game 2 victory?
Ty, it's pretty easily, but it's deceivingly easily as well, because the double play ball has been their best friend. Game 1 against Cottonwood in the regular season had multiple double play balls that got Wasatch out of a jam, and then Game 2, the the game that they played yesterday, Wasatch had 3 double play balls with runners on third base with less than 2 outs that would have scored for Cottonwood. And so really it's been defensively. So backing up, Ty, talking about how good the pitching has been, that is true. But I think in large part it's because of how good the defense has been. It's not the pitchers that are striking out more. In fact, they're striking out less per average this year than they did last year. But the defense is playing so solid behind them that the Wasps have found a lot of success. So, again, to me today, the key to the game here for the Wasps is there are no gimmies in the state tournament at this point. And if you come in thinking, hey, we've blown out Cottonwood 2 times, we're going to roll over them here, you're not. They're going to be playing with desperation. This is the number 5 team in the state for a reason. They went 18-7 on the year, 9-3 in region play, and they're not going to go down without a fight. Both you and I were very impressed with the swings that Cottonwood could put together yesterday against Jackson Bolander. They just went at guys and Wasatch made plays. So if you're Wasatch, you've got to stick to the game plan. You've got to be disciplined. You've got to execute and get a run here, a run there. Get your bunts down. Make sure you're playing solid in the field, and then they'll have a chance to beat this Cottonwood team. But I think they need to expect the best coming from Cottonwood today.
Country Garden and Nursery is your only one-stop shop for everything garden and yard related in the Heber Valley. Stop on in to your indoor plant shop for the plant of the month. Want to remind you that once again you're listening to the Dairy King pregame show. I want to jump over to just Wasatch Athletics in general, Ty. It was a fun day yesterday. It was graduation. We got to celebrate our 2022 graduates. But across the board, sports-wise, it was amazing. Yeah. Wasatch had probably their best day ever when it comes to Wasatch Athletics in the state tournament. I'm just going to run through this real quick. We'll dive into a little bit more throughout this season. But you have softball, who knocked off Cedar Valley. Baseball knocks off Cottonwood. Boys lacrosse upsets Timpview. Girls lacrosse gets a win over Provo. And then tennis, our second doubles team ends up beating the number 1 team in Timpview. And our boys 4x200 track team sets a school record yesterday. All that happened yesterday, so a very positive day. Let's go ahead and take a break. We got a national anthem come back. We'll have the starting lineups right after this.
Hi, friend. Are you ready for your next delicious meal? Come to the Dairy King, home of the train, where they're serving the yummiest food to friends and family in the valley. Come in and get a mouth-watering peach shake, peach cobbler shake, or peach raspberry shake. Dairy King, the winner of the Best of State for 18 years. They're celebrating their 75th anniversary. Bring a picture and a memory of being at Dairy King. Proudly serving the Heber Valley for 75 years. The Dairy King, home of the train, is serving deliciousness daily. Stop in today.
Timberline Ace Hardware is your full-line Benjamin Moore paint store. Visit them for your home projects, business-to-business, and contractor needs. And remember to ask about their delivery services. And they're looking for some cashiers. Apply today. And get your Carhartt wear, your cool outdoor clothing, and Wrangler jeans. Timberline Ace Hardware, located west of the Wasatch Wasp football stadium at 737 South Main Street, serving the Heber Valley for over 50 years.
The 50s produced some great sound. That early rock and roll triggered so much emotion for so many. Here's another sound from that era. The dental drill triggers a whole different set of emotions. The sounds, the smells, feeling out of control, whatever keeps you from the dentist at Dorius Dental, we get it. We focus on the little things. Distract yourself with your favorite episode of The Office, or crank up the 80s or 90s and let it take you back to another time. At Dorius Dental, we are sensitive to your needs. We are taking care of the little things so you can move on to more enjoyable things. Located in Gateway Plaza, Heber City.
You might be used to having someone ask you the question, what is it that you need? I think that's limiting. I'm going to take you through a 6-step process. And it's simply answering questions. And it might not just be home. It might be that you want that fancy new car. It might be that you want trips. It's your list. What is it that you really, really want?
Call Tom Stone at Guild Mortgage in Heber City.
Tom Stone, MLS 257849. Guild Mortgage Company is an equal housing lender. MLS 3274. All loans are subject to underwriter approval. Terms and conditions may apply. Subject to change without notice.
Hi, this is Nicole with Mountain Refined Furnishings and Flooring. And if you didn't know, we've recently partnered with Mattress Warehouse of Utah to bring you the largest selection of mattresses around. The team at Mountain Refined prides themselves on making your home a place where you love to be. We offer a large selection of furnishings, flooring, window treatments, gifts, decor, and so much more. If you haven't been by lately, stop and check it out. You'll be pleasantly surprised. We're located at 480 North Main Street.
This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
I want to thank you for listening to the Dairy King pregame show. Wasatch baseball action here. Game 2 of the best-of-3 series between the Wasatch Wasps and the Cottonwood Colts. Winner advances to the Next week, the final week, that is the double elimination round. It's time for our Bank of Utah batting lineup, and I'm going to throw it over to Ty for the batting lineup today for the Wasps.
Well, more movement in the batting lineup this day for Wasatch. They're going to have Crew Erickson leading off. That's where he was last game. He'll be followed by Chet Wilson moving up from the 7-hole to the 2-hole today for the Wasps. Number 3, Jackson Bolander, the DH. Number 4, Peyton Swap in center field. Your 5-hitter today is Cole Zimmerman playing first base. Jack Bluth in the 6th hole playing second base. Carter Bucad, after having a good day yesterday for the Wasps, slides up to the 7-hole. He's playing shortstop. Tragun Shaw went 3 for 3 yesterday for Wasatch in the 9-hole. He's playing right field and in the 8th spot. And then catching today for the Wasps will be Craig McPhee hitting in the 9-hole.
It's time for your first pitch, brought to you by Mountain Refined. From design to project completion, our team excels in understanding and implementing your specific lifestyle and taste preferences. Come into our showroom in order to find beautiful furniture, bedding, mattresses, decor, and so much more. Crew Erickson hitting .444 in the postseason today, or this year. 1 extra base hit, 3 RBIs. Has 26 runs scored on the season, playing left field today. He'll lead off today for the Wasps. On the mound will be versus Lewis. 38 innings pitched on the year and a 5.16 ERA, and he's going to start by throwing it behind Crew Erickson. That's ball 1.
Hey, that's a way to send a message early on, though. Don't get comfortable in that box.
Well, there's a couple of plays yesterday that may have caused a little bit of some feelings. Craig McPhee plowed the catcher at one point during the game, and then Crew Erickson did steal a base in the top of the 7th with Wasatch up by 11.
So you're suggesting that was a message pitch there.
He missed pretty bad on that first pitch.
Not often you throw behind hitters. Yeah, that is a message.
That is a message.
Exactly
They're going to go ahead and throw at Crew Erickson, and that's going to be a leadoff hit by
You know what? And if you're Wasatch, you'll take that every day of the week, because Cottonwood, they're not doing themselves any favors. You're putting a guy with speed on the bag, and you're getting to the meat of this lineup that really has torched you. Wasatch has scored 25 runs on Cottonwood over 2 games. You don't want to give free base runners, but
especially if you're going to miss on the first pitch, you know.
Old school mentality there, Tyler. The unwritten rules of baseball they felt were violated there.
They just put the fastest player on Wasatch on first base with nobody out here in the top of the first. Chet's going to go ahead and square here with a runner on first base. Nobody out, top of the first. You're listening to Wasatch Baseball Action. A win today for Wasatch would advance them to the Final 8 for the first time since this new state format. Chet Wilson was good yesterday. Had a couple of base knocks, hitting 200 in the postseason. He's going to square and tries to lunge at that one. Not able to get it down. That'll be strike 1.
Yeah, it looks like he got a little antsy there in the box. Tyler's feet were kind of elevating upward as that pitch was coming across. He kind of lunged the bat out at the pitch. Chet swung a good bat yesterday, going 2 for 4 at the plate for the Wasps.
Squares again here. The pitch. That one's too far outside. Moves down to 1-1. Third baseman's crashing for Cottonwood down the third base side. First baseman staying, but the second base is rotating over that way in case the first baseman needs to come up on the pitch.
So a lot of space out there between both third base and shortstop, and between the shortstop and second baseman traditionally.
Chet squares again. Pitch comes in. That one's going to get behind the catcher. Chet, your crew's going to go ahead and advance to second base. And so now with the 2-1 count, Chet's going to go have a chance to either swing away or move Crew over to third.
Well, are we sure that he hit him on purpose there, Tyler? That was
maybe not.
He's had one pitch that's been around the zone. Other than that, he's been pretty wild to start.
2-1 the count now. Coach Jacobson giving a signal down in the third base side. Verse Lewis, again, to finish out, a senior, wearing number 1 today. 38 innings pitched, 47 hits in those 38 innings, 31 Ks, 18 walks. It's not a terrible strikeout to walk ratio. 2-1 the count now to Chet. Verse Lewis comes set, takes a peek at Crew. Now delivers the 2-1. Chet tries to drag that time, not able to get it down again, and so it's going to move to a 2-2 count. Jackson Bolander on deck for the Wasps. Had a triple yesterday. Hitting in the 3 spot once again. 2-2, nobody out. Runner on second. Lewis comes set. No look. Delivers the pitch. Way outside. Fills up the count at 3-2.
See Verse Lewis throwing here, Tyler. He's overthrowing right now is how I phrase it. He's really trying hard to get a lot of velocity, and his mechanics are kind of breaking down and failing him a little bit. Just needs to settle in a little bit for the Cottonwood Colts if he wants to throw some strikes. Something the Wasatch pitching coach has done well is getting their players to back off of velocity to throw more strikes and get more movement.
Full count pitch, and this one's elevated to right field. Back. See you later, Senor Wilson. Chet Wilson goes yard for the second time this year, and Wasatch has 2 batters up and 2 runs in on the 2-run home run by the junior Chet Wilson.
Boy, he got all of that one, Tyler. That's a deep part of the park there, probably about 360 or 370 over the left field fence. And that's a way to start the game with some fireworks. You get the potential, send a message, hit by pitch, and then Chet just go ahead and put one over the fence.
They're already running out a pitcher into the bullpen down on the Cottonwood side. They're down to their last game. They've got to beat Wasatch twice today, and Wasatch starts where they left off yesterday with a 2-run bomb. Jackson Bollinger's going to swing at the first pitch. It's going to be a fly ball down to the shallow right field into the Bermuda Triangle, and Jackson Bollinger will stay at first. He's going to try to get back picked. He does get back in time. But a Bermuda Triangle single there for Jackson Bollinger, and Wasatch has 3 batters up, a hit by pitch, a home run, and a single, and still nobody out here in the top of the first.
Well, when you got things going your way, you've got things going your way, don't you? That ball had no business being a base hit for Wasatch. That thing was not hit well. It was a little flare ball going down the right field line, but it's just finding grass. And you've seen that all-state tournament for Wasatch so far. Jack Bluth got a similar hit against Tooele. And the Wasps just kind of have lady luck on their side to this point.
He's going to bring up Peyton Swap, 349 batting average on the year, 11 extra base hits. He'll get a curveball to start out. Too far outside, ball 1.
Coach Jacobson talked to him a little bit after the game, Tyler, and we said, Peyton looks like he may be a little stiff. And he said, I'm not sure it's that as much as we were just really drilling our players to try to hit it to right field with the lefty pitching and see if he can maybe open up that regular big fly swing that he's got. Now that you've got a hard-throwing righty on the mound, a little less thinking for Peyton and a little more just natural ability, because it did look like he was overthinking a little bit yesterday.
2-0 count after another ball on the outside. Jackson Bollinger on first base, not a big lead. Verse Lewis comes set, delivers the 2-0, and that one's low. Ball 3. 3-0 count. Yeah, I need to retract. Maybe it wasn't throwing at Crew that first. I feel like that was
it
a little
sure looked
immature.
like it. Yeah, it's
yesterday. Crew stole a base in the top of the 7th with Wasatch up 12-1, and so that's kind of one of those unwritten rules. And so there thought there might be some hard feelings there, and so there was a pitch that was thrown behind Crew, and then another pitch that was at his back, right back to back.
Well, but Ty, in your defense, starting the game, it is unusual to go pitch behind a guy and then the very next one to hit him, and just some traditional baseball rules that look very much like you would see in the higher levels of sending a message. And it very well could have been, Tyler, but at this point now it's more in question as Verse Lewis is struggling to find the zone.
It's going to bring up Cole Zimmerman, hitting .500 in the postseason this year, .323 the whole year, 5 extra base hits, 14 RBIs. Runners on first and second, still nobody out here in the top of the first with Wasatch up 2-0. Zimmerman playing first base again today for the Wasps, a junior. See if Wasatch decides to go back to small ball. Cole is going to square in the box. Versus Lewis takes his time, takes a peek at first, delivers, and again, not able to get it down. Cole lunging a little bit, fouls it right at his feet, and we'll reset at 0-1.
Cottonwood wheeling the shortstop hard on that play. Second also sprinting. So you've got a potential here with the slash, Tyler. If Cottonwood runs that same style again, really the whole infield is open with the exception of the corners.
Cole with a couple of hits yesterday for the Wasps. 0-1 count with runners on first and second. Verse Lewis comes set. Takes one look. Now a pickoff move at Bollinger. Gets back there safely. Second baseman tries to fake Bollinger out. Bollinger just gets up on the bag. And we'll reset still with an 0-1 count.
These Wasatch seniors, again, if you weren't with us yesterday, they graduated last night, and they do an all-night party for the seniors up at Wasatch High School as well. And so the question was, how are they going to come into this game? Did they follow the coach's advice to get home early and get to bed, or were they coming a little tired? So far, it's been a good start for Wasatch to this one.
Zim gets the green light on that one, but he'll take a ball low and inside. So 1-1 now the count. Jack Bluth on deck for the Wasps.
Finishing off my thought as well, though, Ty, to this point, it's mostly underclassmen doing the damage, which probably were not at that all-night party. Chet Wilson, a junior with the home run. Crew Erickson, also a junior. Peyton Swap and Jackson Bollinger, seniors, on the base right now.
1-1 does land his first curveball for a strike here in the first inning. Moves the count to 1-2. Zimmerman, great back controls, able to go both ways against Tooele. A couple of base knocks to the left-hand side of the field. Yesterday, hit the 3-4 hole on a good barrel to the right side. Hitting from the left-hand side. Big lead for Peyton at first base. Okay lead for Bubbles. The 1-2. Swung on. This one's going to go the opposite way. Saran's going to come up and make the grab. Saran's playing himself a nice left field here in this series. Had a diving play yesterday that saved a couple of runs, and that's a good job on that line drive into the outfield. Good barrel by Zimmerman, but that is one away here in the top of the first.
Yeah, it's a great swing by Cole there for Wasatch, but Saran had that red all the way, Tyler. Good play. I thought for a moment that had a chance to get down the line, but Saran made that look easy.
Bring up Jack Blue, 392 on the year, 8 extra base hits and 14 RBIs. Is hitting 500 in the postseason with extra base hit, one of the seniors on this team. Wasatch has 4 seniors in the lineup, 3 in the batting lineup, and then Casey Anderson will be on the mound. Jack had a great day against Cottonwood earlier in the year. Back in the box, the first pitch, too low, moves the count to 1-0. Carter Bucott on deck.
This is the third time, Tyler, these teams have faced off this year now. Wasatch to this point has scored 10 runs on Cottonwood in the first inning alone. 4 in the first game, 4 in the second game, and now already 2 in the first inning of this one. And they're looking to do a little more damage with a runner on second and 1 out.
Bruce Lewis sets, takes a look, delivers. That's going to be a fastball that will go foul down the third base side and now have a count at 1-2. A little bit colder here today. About the same type of breeze, though. Looks like to be blowing a little bit out to right field, but not much. Clouds bring a little bit cool. It's not warm weather, and you know me, Ty. I'm not fair weather guy.
I know. I'll say it how it is. You're a baby when it comes to cold weather over here. You're complaining as we were driving through the snow of Park City to get down
I'm just
here.
glad we're not playing Park City
Yeah,
for that reason alone.
Salem Hills gets that treat today of going to Park City in the snowstorm.
1-1 the count here. Or sorry, 1-2 the count to Jack. The pitch. Curveball is going to be fouled off. And we'll reset. Jack, that was another off-speed pitch that Jack was a little bit behind on, or a little bit ahead of. Just joining us, Wasatch 2-0. Crew Erickson was hit by pitch to lead off the inning, and then Chet Wilson hit a 2-run bomb over the right field wall. Bollander singled, Peyton Swap walked, and then Cole Zimmerman just lined out to left. So we have runners on first and second, 1 out. Wasatch leading 2-0 here in the top of the first. Looking to close out this series and advance to the final 8 for the first time since this new playoff format. 2-0, the 1-2 pitch. Too far outside, moves count to 2-2.
Yeah, Chet Wilson, good to see him finally get a home run, Tyler, over the fence. Had an inside the Parker this year, and he's had a couple that he has just tattooed to the fence as well, but didn't have enough arc on the pitch to get him out. He's been so close all year long, finally gets one over the fence to touch them all.
Playing shallow in the outfield are the Cottonwood Colts. Jack Bluth has a home run on the year. The 2-2. He's going to swing hard at that one. Almost hits the cameraman that's out by the dugout. And we'll reset it 2-2.
That's not a cheap camera over there, too, Tyler. That you're looking at a $10,000 lens over there.
Yeah, great mustache, too.
Jack's deceptively powerful, Tyler. He's a gymnast growing up, and so he's got a lot of upper body strength, just really strength all throughout in his core as well. But he's only about, 5'5", 5'6". He's got a gymnast body, and so teams creep in on him, but he's got a lot of pop and can certainly drive it over the outfielders' heads.
1-2 again, 2-2 again, reset, and moves the count to full after missing low and outside. So full count, 1 out, runners on first and second.
In fact, this is one of these things with Jack Bluth here at the plate, Tyler. He's got some incredible videos. He used to do the rinks with gymnastics as well, and just the strength that he has is quite unbelievable. If you've ever watched the men's gymnastics, he was a top gymnast for sure for years going up throughout high school.
The payoff pitch with 1 out. A little bit up in the zone, but Jack does a good job protecting the close one, and we will reset still with the count full and runners on first and second.
Yeah, that's the right decision. It looked like that might be a ball, Tyler, but you don't want to leave that up to the umpire there. And Jack wisely is battling that pitch, fouling it off, and living to get another one here. Full count again, already up to 24 pitches is versus Lewis of Cottonwood.
Yeah, what do you see out of versus Lewis, Ty, early on in this first inning?
Well, when you struggle to throw strikes early on, Tyler, it just puts a heavy burden on everyone. The fielders start to get a little lackadaisical. The umpire also gets thrown off a little bit. And he's just laboring here to try to find the zone. And again, it's mechanics. It just looks like he's overthrowing. There are some pitchers, Ty, as we get ball 4 and Jack's going to take his base, there are some pitchers that it just looks easy when they throw. It's just so simple and easy. Versus Lewis looks like he's laboring as he's getting ready to throw this ball here. And it just looks like he may be overthrowing here a little bit right now.
Bases are juiced. Brings up Carter Bucad. Tyler, .625 batting average in the postseason. He was hovering around 250 most of the year, but he's been good in the postseason. It's going to ground ball to the shortstop, though. He's got to hustle down the line. He does beat it out, so a run will come in on the fielder's choice. Ground out by Carter Bucad. It was a hard-hit ground ball, and hustle down the line was able to beat out the double play throw. So Wasatch gets another run in, so that makes the score 3-0 and has runners on the corners with 2 outs.
Little things. Those are game-winning plays, Tyler. You're working an extra run here and an extra run there. Carter hustling down the line gets Wasatch a good chance. But between Bucad and Shaw yesterday, those two were lights out in 8-9. Bucad had 2 hits. Shaw had 3. So between the two of them, they were 5 for 6 on the day.
Pretty good speed by Bucad at first base. Payton Swap at third base. Going to bring up Tragun, like you said, Ty. 3 for 3 with the double and an RBI yesterday. .434 batting average on the season. Has 8 extra base hits and 13 RBIs. Has good power down the line. They're shading Wasatch to the opposite field side so far in this first inning. Big hole in between the 3-4. He's going to take ball 1 on the low and outside part of the zone. 1-0 the count. Huge hole in between first and second base. Craig McPhee on deck, getting his first at-bats of the postseason. Tragun sets. In the box. Again, hitting 1,000 in the postseason. 3 for 3 yesterday after not hitting in the Twila series. Gets rewarded, being in the lineup again today. Pickoff move. Bucad has to take a step, gets over in time. Cottonwood wearing white pins today with Colts across the chest. Wasatch wearing their white pants and black tops. Same look they had against Twila in game 1. Another pickoff move, not in time. Bullpen guy pitching in the bullpen appears to be ready. That's number 14 Green. That's actually the DH today, Ty. Is that the one who's out in the bullpen warming up? Versus Lewis, sets, delivers, another ball low in the count, moves count to 2-0. Win today would put Wasatch playing again on Monday. Their potential opponents are probably Spanish and Lehigh with an outside chance of playing Jordan.
Yeah, you're going to dive into that?
Not yet.
Spider web of a mess that they've got going on after the 5 upsets yesterday.
2-0 pitch. Bucad's going to go. Fake throw. He does not throw to second, and so Carter Bucad will be safe at second base, and Payton will be at third. So second and third, 2 ducks on the pond for Tragun Shaw. That pitch was a strike, so that moves the count to 2-1.
Yeah, it's maybe when we get a little more time, we can talk a little bit about the 5A bracket, Tyler. But how baseball does it is they reseed after the rounds, and so you really won't know until the dust settles today who the next opponents will be if you win. And so right now with Wasatch being the 13 seed, they potentially could be, the 8 seed. 8 will be the lowest seed, advancing to the last 8 teams and facing the number 1 Spanish Fork. But if Brighton, the 15, wins, and they're ahead 1-0 in their series right now, that would bump Wasatch up to 7. If Springville can pull off an upset as well, that would potentially lead them up to 6.
The 2-2 is going to be a lazy ground ball up the middle. Nelson comes through, throws across the diamond. It's not in time. Another run will come in to score. An infield single there for Tragun Shaw, and Wasatch takes the 4-0 lead. This is the 3rd straight time Wasatch has scored 4 runs in the top of the 1st against the Colts this season.
Yeah, it just really feels like deja vu every game so far. The first inning has started the exact same way over and over and over again. See if Wasatch can break the streak here, if Craig can get that 5th one in.
Wasatch hit 8 yesterday before ultimately getting thrown out on a 1st and 3rd situation in the top of the 1st. They have the same situation here. Runners on 1st and 3rd, 2 outs with Craig McPhee up, 200 on the year, 2 RBIs. Catching today behind the dish. The 1st and 3rd, the pitch. 2-high, moves the ball to 1-0. Tragun Shaw remains perfect, 4 for 4 in the postseason with that infield single. Versus Lewis comes set. Good speed from Tragun at first base. takes a peek. High leg kick, delivers. It's going to be another ground ball to the shortstop. Nielsen takes the bad hop, throws it across the diamond, and that'll do it. But Wasatch scores 4 runs on 3 hits. No errors from Cottonwood in the inning, and Wasatch leaves 2 on base. It's 4-0 as we go into the bottom of the first.
Heber City Point S is locally owned and operated by Larry Rhodes and Brad Hyatt. They offer the best brand tires at low prices with extensive knowledge and experience of repair and services with no pressure sales. Only what you need. They've been taking care of cars, trucks, and trailers for over 20 years. No appointment needed, conveniently located, free shuttle service, and free Wi-Fi. Take $5 off your next visit when you tell them 94.5 The Peak sent you over. That's Heber City Point S.
Gucci Goo Barbecue in Heber Valley is a premier barbecue restaurant. You can choose from finger-licking ribs, poppin' andouille sausage, tasty chicken, tender brisket, delicious pork, and yummy street tacos. Friday night dates, take that significant other for the smoked prime rib that melts in your mouth. Family-friendly atmosphere where everyone is welcome, quick service for dine-in or takeout, great quality food, and great value for your money. That's Gucci Goo in Midway on Main Street.
Dan Sluga at Wasatch Back Flooring is extending his services to include quality paint products to complete your home remodeling needs. Locally owned and operated, Dan and his team can help you find the right flooring for your home with quality products from Mohawk, Shaw, Target, Godfrey Hirst, and many more. Since 2009, they've been exceeding their customers' needs by helping them select flooring that fits both their lifestyle and budget. They've got you covered at Wasatch Back Flooring and Paints.
This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Second inning action brought to you by Wasatch Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine, your rehabilitation specialist dedicated to your total recovery from sports injuries, auto injuries, industrial and or commercial injuries. Let Diane Ivey and his team get you back to 100%. I'm going to throw it over to you, Ty. Let's take us around the diamond for the defensive starters today for Wasatch, brought to you by Point S Tires.
Well, starting pitcher for the Wasps today will be senior Casey Anderson. Goes by Bruin, his middle name, and the team loves calling him Bruin out there, and he's a dog here on the mound for the Wasps for sure. He'll be throwing to catcher Cray McPhee. At first base, Cole Zimmerman. Second base, Jack Bluth. Shortstop, Carter Bucad. Third base, Chet Wilson. In left field, Crew Erickson. In center, Peyton Swap. And in right field today, Tragun Shaw. That is your Wasatch defensive lineup.
Casey Anderson, 40 and a third innings pitched on the year, a 4.51 ERA, 52 hits in those 40 innings.
Started game 1 against Cottonwood in the regular season, and he was good. Went 3 innings and really held Cottonwood pretty efficiently and effectively. Tyler Cottonwood didn't get any runs off of him.
Leading off for Cottonwood will be he's playing third base today, Burke. Goes for a drag bunt. It's going to be ball 1 and now ball 2. So back-to-back balls to start off the inning for Casey Anderson. Burke, 298 batting average. He's hitting 500 against Wasatch this year. 3 for 6. Had the lone run scored against Wasatch yesterday. Strike called on the outside corner. Moves count to 2-1.
Yeah, he found his way on by way of error in the first inning, and a second error allowed him to score. Cottonwood didn't get any earned runs yesterday against Wasatch.
The 2-1. Too far up again, moves the count to 3-1. We saw Bubbles struggle a little bit. Only 2 walks for Wasatch in the postseason. One of them came in the top of the first. Jackson Bolander, a rare walk. Now 3-1 here. Casey delivers another off speed, lands it, fills up the count at 3-2.
Yeah, that's really his number 1 pitch, Tyler. Fastball's not his go-to. He loves that breaking pitch. Feels comfortable in any count throwing it.
Counts full. The payoff. Goes with a slow curveball, swing and a miss. The first physical at the Fit Stop strikeout of the game. Physical at the Fit Stop, your locally owned and operated physical therapy clinic, serving you from head to toe for the last 40 years.
What was that pitch there, Tyler? That was a different type of curveball. That thing dropped off the table.
That's that backyard baseball.
That was like a gravity wiffle ball curveball is what that is.
It's going to bring up the shortstop, Nielsen.
It was a slow kind of gravity type one, but, man, it dropped at the end, too. He pulled the string on that.
Nelson, a 476 batting average. He tried it again there with Nelson. It's too high for ball 1. 476, 32 RBIs, 13 extra base hits for Nelson. He's 2 for 6 in the series against Wasatch so far this year with a couple of Ks. 1-0 fastball in there for strike 1.
That's a good job mixing up speeds, though. Again, the scouting report on Nelson is he wants to swing at the first pitch. Faced Casey twice already this year, and he's only seen 2 pitches. Casey went breaking pitch on him. And now he gets strike 2 as Nelson was trying to call timeout, not awarded it.
Not happy about it. Seasoned umpire today behind the dish, does not reward the timeout. Moves the count to 1-2. Casey likes to work fast. He's back on the mound. Getting the pitch from Cray. Shakes him off, now comes back. The 1-2 to Nilsson. Swung on. This one's driven to deep left field. Going back. It's fair.
Foul.
No, foul. Sorry, I looked at the umpire because I couldn't see it, and he was pointing in. Didn't have his hands up, so it is a foul ball, and we'll reset at 1-2.
Nelson, a dead pull guy. Tyler, after we've seen you said 6 at-bats now, and he has not resembled anything that is going to hit the ball up the middle or to right field. And as a pitching staff, they can try to work with that knowledge, and there's a certain way you can pitch those kind of hitters to get them out.
1-2 the count, 1 out, nobody on here in the bottom of the first. Goes back to that curveball. He's going to elevate this one to left center field. Crew Erickson's not going to get to it, so a single here in the bottom of the first for Nielsen. And the Cottonwood Colts have their first base runner of the day. It's going to bring up the first baseman, Dozy. He's had the best success against Wasatch. 3 for 5 this year. He had a double yesterday. He's hitting .322 with 19 RBIs on the season. Hitting from the left side. Big junior.
That Nielsen single is a respect single, Tyler. Crew Erickson was playing way deep and down towards the line. That's really a routine fly ball that he hit out there, but because the left fielder was playing so deep, respecting the power of Nielsen, that ball was able to fall in.
Cray thought he had a strike there, too far inside, moves the count to 1-0. Decent lead from Nelson at first base. Casey takes a peek, delivers on the slide step, swing and a miss on the off speed, moves the count to 1-1.
This Cottonwood team, I mean, they're coached well. You can see what they're looking for, Tyler. Fastball count traditionally 1-0. 3 hitters hunting that thing, and Casey's fooling them because he is not a fastball pitcher.
Good crowd here today at Cottonwood High School. 1-1, swung on. That's going to be another base knock down the left field line. This is going to be extra bases. Nelson's going to round second. He's going to try to score from first. Nelson rounding third. Ball's going to come in, and Cottonwood is on the board after the RBI double from Dozy down the left field line.
Yeah, you didn't think Cottonwood's going to go away without a fight, did you?
No.
This team's going to keep coming at them. Even when they got down big yesterday against Wasatch, they kept putting up good at-bats. And Wasatch just kept using that double play ball to get out of it.
Pretty swing here.
Team's going to come at them.
Sophomore right fielder Stinson hitting over 400 on the year. 0 for 6, though, against Wasatch, but he's got a nice-looking swing. He's got a chance with the duck on the pond. He's going to swing at this one. This one's elevated. Foul for strike 1.
Yeah, this kid can put a ball out of the park in a hurry, Ty. Only a sophomore.
15 extra base hits, 30 RBIs. He's got an RBI opportunity here.
Yeah, 7 bombs. Trying to make it 8 right there.
0-1. He goes back to that gravity curve. And I think the umpire thought that was too high. Again, that's another one that Cray thought he had a strike on. Moves down to 1-1.
Well, that's not where you want to be throwing that curve anyway.
No.
So if you're the Wasatch coaching staff, you're okay if they don't call that a strike.
1-1. High leg kick. The delivery. Slider outside. And low. Moves count to 2-1. Casey had himself in a bind in the first inning against Cottonwood and then settled down and threw 3 scoreless after the first inning in their first outing. Wasatch leads 4-1, but Cottonwood threatening here with 1 out and a runner on second. Casey, 2 looks, delivers, swing and a miss to Stenson, moves the count to 2-2.
Well, now he's seen the breaking pitch and the fastball. See how Casey wants to approach this here. Ahead in the count, got first base open.
2-2, the pitch. Swings and elevated again, foul down the left field line. Ball was on the inside part of the plate. And we'll reset with still 2-2. Casey didn't pitch in the Twila series. Should have plenty of arm strength here. Tries to go high, and instead it's high and at the helmet of Stinson. Hit by pitch, and now runners on first and second. 3 straight batters have reached base now for the Colts, and that puts runners on first and second with 1 out. For the left fielder, Saran, in the series against Wasatch so far this year. 1 for 5, had a hit yesterday. .302 batting average on the year. 17 RBIs, 4 extra base hits. Saran hitting from the left-hand side has been really good defensively for the Colts in left field.
He's got some speed out of the box here. Is Saran. Double play ball has been the friend of Wasatch.
Low and outside. Craig McPhee does a good job of smothering it to keep the runners at first and second. A little bit more animation from the Cottonwood dugout today as compared to yesterday.
Well, it's the first time they've strung together multiple hits in an inning in about 10-plus innings.
Swung on, and this one's yanked at the dugout of Cottonwood. Moves the count to 1-1. Back in the box, Anderson sets. One look, now two. And delivers the 1-1. Too far up, moves the count to 2-1. Deep breath from Casey. Pitch count starting to get up there a little bit.
Yeah, but he didn't throw it all in the first series. Tyler Jackson Bolander and Jackson Kelson took that whole thing, so this could be a little shake off the rust here for Casey as much as anything. That's a pretty good pitch right there.
Curveball doesn't get that one called for a strike either. Craig McPhee turns around and asks the umpire what he thought about it. 3-1 now the count. Casey comes set. Saran ready. 3-1. Goes back to off speed and lands it again. Fills up the count at 3-2. As mentioned, Wasatch turned 3 double plays yesterday, a 6-4-3, a 6-3, and a rare 5-2 double play as Chet Wilson stepped on the bag and threw it to the catcher to get the runner going home with the bases loaded. Casey, a double shake, now comes set. Delivers on the slide step. It's another off speed. It's too far outside, so a hit by pitch and a walk, and the bases are now loaded with one out for the catcher, Fox, and that's going to earn a trip to the mound from Coach Watkins. This trip to the mound brought to you by Mirror Lake Station. Best donuts in Utah. The Mirror Lake Station is your stop for gas, groceries, and goodies. New owners David and Kristen Wade invite you to swing by and say hello this season at Mirror Lake Station in Camas.
Here's a stat for you, Tyler. Cottonwood's last game of the season is one that you'll have to double take and wonder if you're looking at a football score. Beat Hillcrest 27-12 in that game. 27-12. And this Cottonwood team, they have some offensive firepower for sure. And so looking at a 4-run deficit in the first inning, they're not going to be too intimidated by that. And they're going to feel like they can come back at it, especially with a pitcher with like Casey, who's a little low on velocity. And they feel like they're going to be in play. It'll open up more opportunities for a coaching staff to look at maybe sending runners, putting them in motion. And it just opens a few more doors here. But again, Casey, what his advantage is in these situations is that he can get ground balls. So that's been a thing that Casey's been really good at this year. And all it takes is one good pitch here, and then you're out of the inning.
Brings up Fox, the catcher, also a sophomore on the year. .424 batting average, 25 RBIs. 1 for 4 against Wasatch this season. Gets in the box on the right-hand side. Wasatch in double play depth. Swings at the first one, and it's another single to the left side. Crew is going to come up. He's going to deliver the ball home. It'll stay with the bases loaded, but another run comes in. 4-2 now the score. And that's now 5 straight batters who have reached base for the Cottonwood Colts. So base is still loaded now for the senior DH, designated hitter Green. Green comes in today, a .342 batting average, 1 for 7 against Wasatch this year. Have a speed-up runner for the catcher is number 34, Slagowski. Slagowski, I believe, finished that game against Wasatch in Game 1 on the mound.
Yeah, seen him on the mound, and wouldn't be surprised to see him again at some point today.
4-2 now the score. Casey comes back with strike 1 on a curveball. Mentioned it on the Dairy King pregame show. This Cottonwood Colts team can swing it, and they've shown it so far today. 0-1, tries to go upstairs with the fastball. He's had a hard time landing the fastball for a strike so far in the game. 1-1 the count. Casey, another senior that graduated last night for the Wasps. The 1-1. Too far outside, moves the count to 2-1. Haven't seen control issues like this from Casey much this year. He hasn't pitched in a while, so might, like you said, be a matter of just getting out of this first inning. We saw Jackson Bolander give up an unearned run in the first inning yesterday and then throw 6 scoreless. Another curveball kind of buckles the hitter and is in there for strike 2. 2-2 to count with 1 out. Casey back working out of the windup instead of out of the stretch. The 2-2 goes with that gravity curveball, and fills up the count with another ball. Wasatch not paying attention a little bit. Slagowski at first base.
Slagowski wasn't paying attention. He started going down to second base thinking it was ball 4. Wasatch could have got a cheap out there.
Not able to take advantage of it. So full count with 1 out. Score 4-2. Already 3 hits in the day. Casey tried a little quick pitch. Now he's able to go. The full count. And they stop him again. Second straight time they've stopped him.
That one a little late. Casey was into his leg kick at that point.
Here we go. The payoff pitch with 1 out and the bases loaded. Gets the strikeout. Second strikeout of the inning for Casey Anderson, and that moves to 2 outs. Still bases loaded. Wasatch leads 4-2, but the tying run's on second and the leading run is on first, and it's going to bring up the number 8 hitter, junior center fielder Fiel. Fiel on the season, 1 for 6 against Wasatch, .296 batting average, hitting from the left-hand side. Casey delivers, swung on, it's elevated to left center field. Payne Swab going over. Crew Erickson can't come up with it. Both runs are going to come in. All runs are going to come in, and Cottonwood, for the first time this season, has the lead over the Wasps on a bases-clearing double from Fiel to left center field. And Wasatch trails 5-4 here in the bottom of the first.
Oh, my goodness. I can't believe that ball wasn't caught, Tyler. That was a lazy fly ball that just, frankly, has to be caught. Not deep. That one hurts Wasatch there.
It's going to bring up the number 9 hitter, Snow, senior second baseman. Had some good barrels yesterday. Came up short, only 1 for 6 on the year against Wasatch. .385 on the year. A big lead for Fiel at second base. Another pitch that looks good from our angle, but is not called a strike. Moves the count to 1-0. 4 base knocks, 2 doubles and 2 singles in the first inning here for the Cottonwood Colts. Goes back with a curveball that's in there for strike 1. Moves the count to 1-1. Well, you said it, Ty. This Cottonwood Colts team wasn't just going to roll over, and they came back with a vengeance here in the bottom of the first. Wasatch scored 4. Cottonwood scores 5. Fastball, and that's another base knock. That's going to bring in yet another run. 6 runs for Cottonwood here in the first inning. On another single up the middle from Snow.
Well, it's good discipline swings for the most part. That fell hit was not a good hit, Tyler. That double was not good, but the rest of them have been really disciplined. Good line drive swings, not too tempted with a slower pitcher that's kind of looping curveballs in there to try to elevate. That's exactly what Fell did, and which is why it's so disappointing that 3 runs scored on a swing like that, but the rest of them have been really good.
Another hard barrel that Boucard can't come up with. It was kind of one of those knuckleball line drives that went at the glove of Boucard. He drops it, and another runner reaches on an error by the shortstop.
Yeah, the wheels are wobbly for Wasatch right now. This is the first time in a while you've seen this team look a little shaken with their confidence.
That's a couple of balls now in this inning that off the bat appeared to be outs. Wasatch just either didn't see it off the bat or just didn't get a good jump. Either way, 2 outs now with first and second, and brings up arguably the best hitter here, Nielsen, .476 on the year. He singled the left in his last at bat. First pitch is going to be a curveball, too high. Ball 1. Be interested to see what Wasatch decides to do here pitching-wise. Got Jackson Kelson, who's available, but if you go Jackson Kelson and lose, that limits your starting pitching in Game 3. Swung on, ground ball to the third baseman, and it gets down the line. That's going to score yet another run for the Colts on another single, and that moves the score to 7-4 for the Cottonwood Colts.
Yeah, Cottonwood putting it on Wasatch right now. And again, yesterday the ball just kind of seemed to bounce Wasatch's way. Right now it's bouncing Cottonwood's way. You have a little 3-hopper there through the infield down the left base line. It's not exactly stellar contact, but it's finding the holes out there.
First and second, 2 outs. 7 runs in for Cottonwood here in the bottom of the first inning. Casey delivers too far outside, not close on that one. The hitter is Dozy. He's got 2 doubles already in the series, an RBI double, and he scored.
You know, we talked in the pregame, Ty, about how good the Wasatch pitching has been to this point in the tournament. Up until this inning, they had outscored their opponents 24-1 in the state tournament. But a large part of that we pointed out has been the defensive play, where the defense has really just stepped up and made some incredible plays. You can look at probably 2 or 3 different occasions here in this inning where the defense has not backed up the pitcher, and it's cost the Wasps big time.
Another ground ball this time. Carter Bucott fields it clean, flips it to Jack Bluth, but the damage is done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits, 7 runs on 6 hits, 1 error in the inning, 2 were left on base. Wasatch trails 7-4 here on 94.5 The Peak.
Wasatch Back Grill and Deli is a family-owned and operated business serving great food and customer service in Heber City and Midway for over 7 years. For a burger with kick, try the Firehouse. Have a hankering for some seafood? Try fish and chips. Or try the Mandarin chicken salad. Their homemade recipes, freshly grilled burgers and sandwiches are complemented with unique sauces and homemade sides. They provide the best experience and highest quality food. Stop by today and try their great menu items. As a thank you to teachers, first responders, medical personnel, and military, get 15% off meals all year round.
Hi, this is Abby Covarrubias, the Wasatch High School Student Body President. Did you know that parents are the #1 reason kids don't drink? Believe it or not, teens still listen to their parents. In fact, kids usually listen to their parents more than anyone else, including their friends. Utah kids report the #1 reason they choose not to drink is their parents' strong disapproval. All kids need a parent's help to stay drug and alcohol free. Brought to you by Wasatch Behavioral Health and the Parent Bonding Project.
And now, back to the action. Wasatch High School Sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Top of the second action brought to you by Wasatch Bag Flooring. From the customers' words, from start to finish, the entire transaction was honest, professional, and meticulous. Highly recommend Wasatch Bag Flooring and Paint. Thanks, Dan, and your team. Well, Wasatch blitzed them, scored 4. And then Cottonwood answered. They'd been quiet for a while and not in that first inning. 6 hits resulting in 7 runs. And Wasatch trails for the first time this postseason 7-4 after 1 inning.
Yeah, that first inning took 40 minutes to get through with both teams batting through the lineup in their first crack at it.
Verse Lewis is going to step on the mound still here for the Cottonwood Colts. It's going to be the top of the order, Crew Erickson, who was baned in the back in his first at bat to start off the ball game. He's going to swing at one. It's going to be a ground ball to the shortstop. Nelson fields it clean on the backhand side, but sails the throw, and Wasatch has a guy on after the error by the shortstop. Fielded it clean on the backhand, but the ball gets away from him, and Crew Erickson reaches base for the second time today. Chet Wilson will come up to the plate. Homered in his last at bat, a 2-run shot over the horseshoe in right field. See what Coach Jacobson decides to do with this at bat with Chet. He's been good in this series. 3 hits and 4 RBIs in this series already. Comes in hitting .329. Verse Lewis comes set. Crew, not a big lead at first base. The pitch. Too far outside. Moves the ball, or that's a 1-0 count now for Chet.
Well, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see here, Ty, that this one's going to come down to the bullpen in game number 2. Both these pitchers above 30 pitches in the first inning. Highly unlikely that they'll be able to go the distance at this rate.
Chet's going to try to lay down a bunt, not in time, and Crew didn't reach the bag. He was short of the slide, but Nelson can't keep the throw or keep the ball in his glove. The ball pokes loose, and Crew will be safe at second base. So a missed bunt attempt, but a stolen base there from Crew, and Wasatch has a guy on second with nobody out.
Nelson's a little hobbly coming up.
Did they collide? Did Crew and Nelson collide?
I don't know if they hit each other.
Nelson
awkward. Dropped the ball.
See what Chet can do now with the runner on second base. 1-1 count. Jackson Bolander on deck. The junior gets in the box on the left-hand side. Verse Lewis gets the pitch. Now comes set. Crew, not a big lead at second base. Nelson behind him. One look, delivers. 1-1, a little bit slow on the hands, but it's going to be elevated to left field. Saran's going to come underneath it and one away here in the top of the second. Going to bring up Jackson Bolander. He's had himself a good series and a good postseason so far, hitting close to 600, 481 on the year. 2 extra base hits. Had a single in his first at bat into the Bermuda Triangle behind first base. He's got a duck on the pond with an RBI opportunity. Wasatch trails by 3 here in the top of the second. Bruce Lewis has been around the zone a lot more here in the second inning than it was in the first. The pitch gets the inside corner for strike 1. Swap on deck. Slight breeze going out to straight center field. Just joining us, 7-4. Wasatch trails Cottonwood here in the top of the second. One look to Crew. Now a second look. Second baseman trying to hold him. The 0-1. Fastball. It's going to be a ground ball up the middle. Snow's going to field it. Try to throw it across the diamond. It's in time for the second out of the inning. Crew will advance to third base, and so we have 2 outs now here in the top of the second with Peyton Swap, who walked in his first at bat.
Yeah, really slow roller there, Tyler. Second baseman had to go on the shortstop side to go get that ball, but just not a ton of speed from Bollinger coming down the line. Couldn't beat it out.
2 outs, guy on third base. Wasatch trying to get a run here in the top of the second, trailing by 3. Curveball, big swing and a miss there from Peyton. 375 in the postseason so far. Again, walked in his first at bat. Falls down 0-1 in this at bat. Bruce Lewis gets the pitch. Pitching out of the stretch. Delivers. Gets a fastball called on the outside corner for strike 2. 0-2 count. Wasatch was able to produce yesterday on 2 strike counts with 2 outs. We'll see if they can do it again today here in the top of the second. 0-2 versus Lewis comes set. But deep breath. Delivers. Fouled off. And we'll reset at 0-2. That was one where we needed the breaking of the glass. That was going straight for the parking lot.
Yeah, right about where we parked. See if we got a baseball souvenir in the windshield when we get out there. I'm keeping my eye out here on Nielsen after that collision with Crew. He's not been walking normal since, and he's got quite the hobble. Didn't move well on that Jackson Bollinger ground ball. And that could be something to keep your eye on. Peyton said it hit him in the arm. They're going to call it a foul ball, though. Let's see if you show him the mark, count. Peyton. They said it was a swing. It hit something.
It's a foul ball. It's not a swing. It's a foul ball.
It's got to be a foul ball or a hit by pitch.
Catcher's going to the dugout.
He didn't catch it either. So if it's a swing and a strike, go run it first if you're Peyton.
Yeah.
Cottonwood's trying to steal an out there.
It hit something.
Well, they're gonna have to sort this out here a little bit. But back to my thought on Nielsen, Tyler, while they talk about this, that's a closer for him.
And there's going to be some discussion on this one. They're going to call that strike 3. I don't know how that's a strike 3 if it went off of Peyton.
Well, we keep it here for a second and wait and see what happens on this tie.
And they're going to go ahead and call him out. That's a call that goes against the Wasps.
Wow.
So Wasatch, no runs on no hits, no errors by Cottonwood in the inning. It's 7-4 as we go into the bottom of the second.
Napa know-how.
Your local Napa Auto Parts, Wasatch Auto Parts at 105 North Main Street in Heber City stocks auto parts, tools and equipment, and many other items for heavy-duty trucks, marine, and farming equipment. Stop in today at Wasatch Auto Parts, 105 North Main Street in Heber City, a proud sponsor of Wasatch Wasps Sports.
Napa know-how. Hi, friend. Are you ready for your next delicious meal? Come to the Dairy King, home of the train, where they're serving the yummiest food to friends and family in the valley. Come in and get a mouth-watering peach shake, peach cobbler shake, or peach raspberry shake. Dairy King, the winner of the Best of State for 18 years. They're celebrating their 75th anniversary. Bring a picture and a memory of being at Dairy King. Proudly serving the Heber Valley for 75 years. The Dairy King, home of the train, is serving deliciousness daily. Stop in today.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
KTMP, Heber City, and live sports coverage with Ty and Ty.
Bottom of the second inning at Cottonwood High School. Wasatch is trailing 7-4 to Cottonwood. Second inning action brought to you by Physical at the Fifth Stop, your locally owned and operated physical therapy clinic. serving you from head to toe, including vertigo to sports injuries, serving the Heber Valley for over 40 years.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. Is it they ruled it that it was a swing that went off of Peyton Swap's hand, and they're saying that does not count as a foul ball, and so they just called it strike 3, even though the catcher did not catch it. So anyway, an interesting call there to end the top of the second, and this isn't how you wanted to stop the bottom of the second, as Casey's going to throw it off of the back. And leadoff guy on here, while Wasatch already trailing 7-4.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a bunt here at this point. A little lefty up.
That's the second time Stinson had been hit today. Instead, it's going to be another single. Stinson's going to go ahead and knock a single over the second baseman's head. Or excuse me, Saran is going to knock another single over the second baseman's head. He walked in his first at bat. And Cottonwood continues to pour it on here in game 2 of this 3-game series.
Well, no need to bunt if you're going to keep swinging it like that.
First and second.
Keep singling to death over that infield.
Nobody out. Similar to what, I mean, when I look back at that game that we lost big, 21-1 or whatever it was, very similar, just a lot of singles everywhere. 7-4 the score. First and second, nobody out for the Colts here in the bottom of the second. Off-speed pitch in there for strike 1. The hitter is Fox, the catcher. He singled the left field in his last at-bat, ended up scoring.
Well, and what you've seen in the bottom part of this Cottonwood lineup, Tyler, is pretty productive swings, but not a lot of power. So if you're Wasatch, you probably want to shorten up a little bit until Cottonwood gives you a reason to back up in this back end of the lineup.
Another swing and a miss, a big hack there from Fox as he swings over the off-speed pitch. Moves the count to 0-2. Casey has 2 strikeouts on the day. The other out was a ground out to the shortstop. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the second. Fox gets in the box.
It's tough to expect in a series that you can keep having the double play ball be your friend as the way it has been with Cottonwood so far in 2 games.
Here's another ground ball to the third baseman. Chet steps on the bag. He's not able to get the double play ball, but does get the lead runner on the fielder's choice ground out there from Fox.
Good play from Chet there to secure just one, Tyler. He got down the line and covered it and made sure he secured it and got that lead runner, and that keeps the next double play in order.
Brings out the designated hitter, Senior Green, struck out in his last at bat. First and second, 1 out. Just joining us, a big first inning for both teams. 4 runs for the Wasps, but followed up by 7 runs for the Colts. And that's where we stand right now with 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Girls softball team will be playing their game 2 at 3:30 today at home against Cedar Valley. Got the win yesterday at home. Strike 1, moves down to 1-1. Got some freshman production there. Leanna Jones hit a 2-run home run in the game, and freshman Afton Rudder had 2 doubles and 2 RBIs to help lead the Wasps to the 11-6 win over the Cedar Valley High School Aviators. Curveball. Doesn't like it. That's another one that Cray McPhee just doesn't like or doesn't know what's going on with it, and umpire tells him it's too far outside, and that moves count to 2-1.
Yeah, but Cray's got to calm down back there. That's not good technique from him as a player. He's showing up the umpire with body language right now.
2-1 pitch is elevated to left field. Crew going back. See ya later, Senor Wilson. That one's into the tennis courts as Cottonwood has blown this thing open to a 10-4 lead after another home run, or a home run from the designated hitter Green.
That was no doubter. That thing was absolutely tattooed. 10-4. Looks like we're going to have a pitching change here, Tyler. Coach Jacobson coming out to the mound. See what route he wants to go.
We'll go ahead and take a break. 10-4 the score. He's going to go to Gage Sheesh. Wasatch trails by 6 in the bottom of the second.
Timberline Ace Hardware is your full-line Benjamin Moore paint store. Visit them for your home projects, business-to-business, and contractor needs. And remember to ask about their delivery services. And they're looking for some cashiers. Apply today. And get your Carhartt wear, your cool outdoor clothing, and Wrangler jeans. Timberline Ace Hardware, located west of the Wasatch Wasps football stadium at 737 South Main Street, serving the Heber Valley for over 50 years.
The 50s produced some great sound. That early rock and roll triggered so much emotion for so many. Here's another sound from that era. The dental drill triggers a whole different set of emotions. The sounds, the smells, feeling out of control, whatever keeps you from the dentist at Dorius Dental, we get it. We focus on the little things. Distract yourself with your favorite episode of The Office, or crank up the 80s or 90s and let it take you back to another time. At Dorius Dental, we are sensitive to your needs. We are taking care of the little things so you can move on to more enjoyable things. Located in Gateway Plaza, Heber City.
You might be used to having someone ask you the question, what is it that you need? I think that's limiting. I'm going to take you through a 6-step process, and it's simply answering questions. And it might not just be home. It might be that you want that fancy new car. It might be that you want trips. It's your list. What is it that you really, really want?
Call Tom Stone at Guild Mortgage in Heber City.
Tom Stone, MLS 257849. Guild Mortgage Company is an equal housing lender. MLS 3274. All loans are subject to underwriter approval. Terms and conditions may apply. Subject to change without notice.
Hi, this is Nicole with Mountain Refined Furnishings and Flooring. And if you didn't know, we've recently partnered with Mattress Warehouse of Utah to bring you the largest selection of mattresses around. The team at Mountain Refined prides themselves on making your home a place where you love to be. We offer a large selection of furnishings, flooring, window treatments, gifts, decor, and so much more. If you haven't been by lately, stop and check it out. You'll be pleasantly surprised. We're located at 480 North Main Street.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
KTMP, Heber City, and live sports coverage with Ty and Ty.
Pitching change brought to you by Mirror Lake Station, voted best donuts in Utah. The Mirror Lake Station is your stop for gas, groceries, and goodies. New owners David and Kristen Wade invite you to swing by and say hello this season at Mirror Lake Station. Gage Sheesh on the mound, but Cottonwood keeps it rolling. A double now here from the junior center fielder Fiel to the right center field gap.
You know, this is an interesting strategy for the Wasatch coaching staff to bring Gage in here, Tyler. They still obviously believe they've got a chance in this one, down 6 in the second inning. But Gage threw yesterday, and bring him in to close that one in a game that really they had in hand that they could have brought anyone in to close at that point. That's big, because Gage now, you only get 75 pitches between 2 days. That's how the pitch count rules go. And yesterday, I'll have to look up how many he did exactly yesterday, but he'll probably have somewhere in the range of only about 50 to 60 pitches he can go. So Gage isn't going to get you the distance in this game either way here as well. And so where are they going to go after Gage? They've got other options in arms, but if this score holds, you're looking to game 2, and Gage is your closer in that one. And so are you going to burn him and not have him available to close if you need him in game number 2?
2-0 the count. After missing high. Runner on third, 1 out here. Casey only lasts an inning and a third, gives up 10 runs.
This Cottonwood team has got it going right now, though, Tyler. They are swinging it well.
Another ball moves the count to 3-0.
They are 9 hits already into the game. 5 of those singles, 2 doubles, 1 home run. Really good disciplined approach at the plate with their swings.
3-0, that one's in there for strike 1, moves count to 3-1.
Call that a generous strike call as well. See if Gage can settle in for the Wasps.
It's been an emotional start to the game for both sides. Right now, Cottonwood winning it. This one's going to be swung on. It's a lazy fly ball to right field. This one's in the triangle, but Tragun comes up with it. He delivers a strike home. That would have been hosed at home. Fiel decides to stay at third base. So 2 outs now here in the bottom of the second, and that'll bring us to the top of the order to Burke, who struck out and reached on an error by the shortstop. Wind starting to pick up here a little bit. It's starting to get a little bit colder as the clouds starting to creep their way this way. We drove through snow at Park City. Wind swirling a little bit. Leadoff hitter up already, hitting his 3rd time today in just the bottom of the second. Crew lands a curveball for strike 1. 0-1 the count, 2 outs. Gage delivers the 0-1. Swung on, it's going to be a ground ball to shortstop. Bukad delivers over to first base. Zimmerman stretches, makes the out. Another big inning, though, for the Cottonwood Colts as they're able to score. You have their summary for us, Ty?
Yeah, 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors in the inning. Cottonwood leads 10-4.
Heber City Point S is locally owned and operated by Larry Rhodes and Brad Hyatt. They offer the best brand tires at low prices with extensive knowledge and experience of repair and services with no pressure sales. Only what you need. They've been taking care of cars, trucks, and trailers for over 20 years. No appointment needed, conveniently located, free shuttle service, and free Wi-Fi. Take $5 off your next visit when you tell them 94.5 The Peak sent you over. That's Heber City, Point S.
Gucci Goo Barbecue in Heber Valley is a premier barbecue restaurant. You can choose from finger-licking ribs, poppin' andouille sausage, tasty chicken, tender brisket, delicious pork, and yummy street tacos. Friday night dates, take that significant other for the smoked prime rib that melts in your mouth. Family-friendly atmosphere where everyone is welcome, quick service for dine-in or takeout, great quality food, and great value for your money. That's Gucci Goo in Midway on Main Street.
Wasatch High School Sports is on the radio.
Top of the third, brought to you by Wasatch Napa Auto Parts. Your local Napa stocks auto parts, tools, and equipment, and many other items. For heavy-duty trucks, marine, and farming equipment, stop in today. 10-4, Wasatch trails by 6 after giving up 7 in the first and 3 in the second. Wasatch did score four in the top of the first, none in the top of the second. Cole Zimmerman will lead off. He lined out to left field in his first at bat. Got Zimmerman, Bluth, and Bucad up right now for the Wasps. Too far outside.
Yeah, Versailles has not been all that good on the mound for Cottonwood either at this point. Tyler's been sporadic with his command. Gave up 4 early ones. And he'll certainly let you back into the game if you're disciplined as Wasatch hitters. Get in the box and just put up good at-bats. Find your way back in it.
What the lead does is it allows a little bit more leniency for Vis Lewis. Keeps the bullpen off the mound for the Colts. He does come back with a strike one there on the inside corner. Moves count to 1-1. The 1-1. Fastball on it, but it's fouled off straight behind to the backstop. Moves count to 1-2.
Yeah, just missed that one. Cole was on that. But again, and when I say he's not been that good, Tyler, he's been missing in the zone, and then he also misses up in the zone there. That's a pitch that's high and hittable. And with 5 innings left to go here, there's a lot of game left for both these teams.
The 1-2 goes a little bit of a different arm angle on that one. Misses way bad outside. Moves up the count to 2-2. Jack Bluth on deck. Carter Bucad in the hole to lead off this top of the third. The 2-2. Too far up. Fills up the count at full.
He's up to 48 pitches now at this point. I'd imagine Cottonwood's going to take him as far as they can. He can go 110 pitches in a day.
The payoff pitch here to Cole Zimmerman. It's swung on, elevated to left field, the shallow left field. Saran comes up, makes the catch, and there's one away in the top of the third. He's going to bring up Jack Bluth. He walked at his first at bat, 392 on the season, hitting 500 in the postseason with 1 extra base hit and a couple RBIs. Only 1 base runner since that first inning when Wasatch was able to get things open. The 0-0, too far outside, moves the count to 1-0.
Jack's been good as a spark this season for the Wasps, and Wasatch needs a little spark right now. They look a little shell-shocked in the dugout, Tyler, as they were coming in. Need one of these senior leaders to step up and give them a moment, give them a little hope.
Too far outside again, moves the count to 2-0.
And Jack's been good as that guy throughout the course of the season. He's been a good spark here for the Wasps.
Briley Bigelow yesterday, Ty, had 3 triples in that game against Cedar Valley.
There can't be many games where players get 3 triples, Ty.
2-0 pitch is in there for strike one, moves the count to 2-1.
In fact, I would imagine when you get to Major League Baseball, that's got to be more rare than a 3 home run game.
Oh, yeah.
He's getting 3 triples.
Yeah. The 2-1 here to Jack. Swung on. That's going to be popped up again to shallow left field. Wasatch having a hard time getting things going. Saran comes in and makes another Willie Mays Hayes type catch out there in left field. And 2 away in the top of the third.
Yeah, he's got that left side covered well, doesn't he?
He's going to bring up the shortstop for Wasatch. Carter Bucad had a fielder's choice ground out in his first at bat that brought in a run. That's his 3rd RBI of the postseason. Hitting over 600 in this postseason. It's Carter Bucad. Tragun Shaw on deck. Deep breath. First pitch of the at-bat is inside for ball one. Boys soccer hosts Skyline today at 4 p.m. at Wright Tree Stadium. This is a quarterfinal matchup. Winner will advance to the semis to take on, I believe, the winner of Alta and Brighton.
And that one's intriguing, Tyler, because that was last year's state championship match between those two schools. Obviously, a lot of players carrying over for both schools between that state championship game. Wasatch the favorite, the 3 seed versus the 6.
2-0, so action back home. Softball will be playing at home at 3:30, and soccer will be playing at home at 4. We're here at Cottonwood, 10-4 the score in favor of the Colts. 2-0 pitch is in there for strike one, moves count to 2-1.
Yeah, it's been 10 unanswered as well, Ty. Wasatch jumped up 4-0. Cottonwood's put on a hitting clinic since that point.
2-1 count versus Lewis. Deep breath, delivers. Swung on, it's going to be a ground ball to the shortstop. Nielsen gets a nice hop, throws it across the diamond. And that's a 1-2-3 inning. No runs on no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Wasatch trails 10-4 going into the bottom of the third.
Dan Sluga at Wasatch Back Flooring is extending his services to include quality paint products to complete your home remodeling needs. Locally owned and operated, Dan and his team can help you find the right flooring for your home with quality products from Mohawk, Shaw, Target, Godfrey Hurst, and many more. Since 2009, they've been exceeding their customers' needs by helping them select flooring that fits both their lifestyle and budget. They've got you covered at Wasatch Back Flooring and Paints.
Wasatch Back Grill and Deli is a family-owned and operated business serving great food and customer service in Heber City and Midway for over 7 years. For a burger with kick, try the Firehouse. Have a hankering for some seafood? Try fish and chips. Or try the Mandarin chicken salad. Their homemade recipes, freshly grilled burgers and sandwiches are complemented with unique sauces and homemade sides. They provide the best experience and highest quality food. Stop by today and try their great menu items. As a thank you to teachers, first responders, medical personnel, and military, get 15% off meals all year round.
This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Bottom of the third inning brought to you by Gravity Coalition, offering the best in bikes, skis, snowboards, skateboards, and more in Heber Valley. Personalized service, sales, and repair for the gear you love. Gravity Coalition in Midway, Utah, or gravitycoalition.com. This is a cool shop.
Big day for girls and boys lacrosse yesterday. The boys lacrosse team upset Timpview 11-10 to advance to the quarterfinals, where they'll play at Bountiful tomorrow at 4 p.m. Girls lacrosse won in overtime 11-10 over Provo to advance to the quarterfinals. They will host Jordan at 1 p.m. tomorrow at Wright Tree Stadium. Again, boys tennis, doubles, Ty Greenwood and Cole Ritchie upset the number 1 team 7-5, 6-4 to advance to the semifinals, where they'll play Orem today. We're here at Cottonwood, 10-4 the score. Cottonwood on top. It's going to bring up the shortstop Nielsen. A couple of singles and an RBI today. He gets a strike one call.
These two have faced off this season, Tyler. Gage got the better of them with a strikeout. See how round 2 goes.
Gets a curveball there that he'll foul off down the third base side. Moves the count to 0-2. Up for Cottonwood in this inning, Nielsen, Dozy, and Stinson. The 0-2 goes high upstairs, but Nelson's able to get a piece of it. We'll reset at 0-2.
So I did look it up. Tyler Gage threw 13 pitches is all yesterday. So he has 62 pitches he can throw today. And then Wasatch would have to take him out.
0-2 is going to be a ground ball to the shortstop. Bucad fields it clean, throws it across the diamond. Cole Zimmerman makes the catch, one away here in the bottom of the third.
Well, Carter returns the favor. He just grounded out to the shortstop of Cottonwood, and then the shortstop of Cottonwood grounds out to Bucad.
Bucad had a line drive that he wasn't able to get into his glove in the first inning, but since then he's been perfect. 3 ground out putouts for Carter Bucad since. Brings up Dozy, who's been good, a couple of doubles in the series. Grounded out to Carter Bucad in his last at bat. Takes strike one. Dozy, a good-looking athlete, plays first base, hits from the left-hand side, and gets a good barrel there at the first base coach. Moves the count to 0-2. Yeah, you're right, Ty. Wasatch just needs a spark offensively. Haven't seen much in the bullpen of Cottonwood that would say that Wasatch can't score some runs. But Wasatch just seems a little bit down in the box the last 2 innings. Ball 1 here to Dozy, moves count to 1-2. Back into the windup. Sheesh delivers. This one's elevated to right center field. Going back is Swap, going back to the deepest part of the field, and Swap makes the grab over the shoulder. 2 away here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Boy, that wind really carried that ball. That did not sound that good off the bat. But that thing just kept going back to the 380 right center part of the park.
It's going to bring up Stinson, sophomore. It's been hit twice today, Ty. That's his appearances, or 2 hits, hit by pitches. He's going to swing at the first pitch this time. That one wasn't at him, and so he's going to go ahead and take a swing at it. It's going to go just foul over the dugout.
Yeah, not a bad strategy, right? Get that one while you can.
He wants in on the action is what's going on with this Cottonwood lineup.
Well, again, this is a kid. If you're a Cottonwood coach over there, you're really excited about this kid's future. He's got a good swing, already hitting the 4-hole as a sophomore. Again, we brought it up, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but this Cottonwood team's got a good future with a lot of underclassmen that are talented here.
Yeah, there it is, Ty. How about a little knuckleball there? He's been trying to throw that knuckleball for a while. He throws it there.
He's been begging for a couple years to throw that one, and he finally lets it fly.
Lets it fly in there for a strike. 0-2 now the count here to Stinson. The pitch too far outside, 1-2.
Gage has done a good job weathering the storm here, Tyler. Wasatch was really shaky through the first 1+ innings. Gage has come in and kind of calmed it down. See if he can finish this 3rd.
Tries to land the curveball too far up, moves the count to 2-2. 7 of the 9 hitters in the lineup for Cottonwood have had hits today. Stinson hasn't because he's been hit by pitch twice. Tries to get him to chase one in the dirt, so after going 0-2, that fills up the count on 3 straight balls, moves the count to 0-2.
Stinson sees it well, Tyler. There was never any temptation on that pitch, it looked like, to go after that thing. Saw it easily out of the hand, recognized there was a curveball coming out low. Never even got tempted to offer at it.
The payoff pitch with 2 outs. Swung on, elevated to shallow center field. This one's going to be tough. Peyton Swap. No, Tragun Shaw is going to come in and actually make the grab. Good job there from Tragun. And Wasatch has their first Wasatch physical therapy. Retire the side. No runs on no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. It's still 10-4 here on 94.5 The Peak.
Hi, this is Abby Covarrubias, the Wasatch High School Student Body President. Did you know that parents are the #1 reason kids don't drink? Believe it or not, teens still listen to their parents. In fact, kids usually listen to their parents more than anyone else, including their friends. Utah kids report the #1 reason they choose not to drink is their parents' strong disapproval. All kids need a parent's help to stay drug and alcohol free. Brought to you by Wasatch Behavioral Health and the Parent Bonding Project.
Napa know-how.
Your local Napa Auto Parts, Wasatch Auto Parts at 105 North Main Street in Heber City stocks auto parts, tools and equipment, and many other items for heavy-duty trucks, marine, and farming equipment. Stop in today at Wasatch Auto Parts, 105 North Main Street in Heber City, a proud sponsor of Wasatch Wasps Sports.
Wasatch High School Sports is on the radio.
Wasatch Behavioral Health was founded in 1967 to provide quality mental health care for all individuals within Utah and Wasatch counties. We offer a wide array of programs and services for children, teens, and adults. It's 10-4. Wasatch trails by 6 as we go into the top of the 4th inning. After an explosion, I'm not sure what just happened in the 3rd inning. Both teams go 1-2-3, 1-2-3 for the first time this series.
Yeah, neither defense knows what to do, having to go back out that quickly after the offenses didn't get anything done. It's been a lot of runs so far in the first 2 games of this series.
It'll be Shaw, McPhee, and then the top of the order with Crew to lead off the top of the 4th.
Already 27 runs between the 2 teams in 10 innings of play in this series.
1-0 the count. Now the second pitch of the at-bat here to Tragun's going to be swung on. A barrel that goes right to the shortstop. Nelson takes his time, throws it across the diamond, and that's 1 away here in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, that took a candy hop is what they call that. That ball hit the edge of the grass and hopped right up to the face level of the shortstop. It's about as easy as it comes.
It's going to bring up Craig McPhee. He grounded out at the shortstop as well in his last at-bat. Shout out to Josh Sanders, Peter Muslar, Nalu Kitashima, and Caden Luke set the 4x200 meter school record yesterday in the preliminaries of the state track meet, 5A state track meet down at BYU. They'll be back down there Saturday along with Maddie Durant for the finals of the 5A state tournament. Ball one to Cray McPhee here with one out in the top of the fourth. Verse Luis delivers. Goes back to that kind of sidearm action for an off-speed pitch. Lands that one. Moves the count to 1-1. Wasatch won game one. Just needs one win today, either to this game or the next one. Another off-speed is going to be fouled off. Moves the count to 1-2. 1-2 the count with one out. Crew Erickson looks on in the on-deck circle. Crew's reached both times today. Again, Craig grounded out the shortstop. He's got a 1-2 count now here as versus Lewis into the windup. Delivers, swung on and fouled off. 2-2, or sorry, excuse me, stays at 1-2.
Good battle. Craig hasn't had a ton of opportunities this year, Tyler, but in his limited opportunities, he's been competitive at the plate. In the Provo series, I believe is what it was, especially. No, Salem, excuse me. He had a game there where he went 8+ pitches deep after getting 2 strikes, and it kind of seemed to be a spark for the team in that one.
Swings at this one in the dirt. It's strike 3. Hustles down the line. Catcher stands up, throws it down to first base. 2 away, and that's now 5 straight outs for the Wasps. Brings up the top of the order with 2 outs is Crew Erickson. Hit by pitch in his first at bat and reached on an error in his second at bat. He did score in the first inning after getting hit in the back. Bruce Lewis back into the windup. Delivers. And that one once again is at Crew.
Well, keep taking base runners if you can. Crew's hit by pitch, got on by way of error on the next one. And again, he's just a weapon, a lot of speed. And need runners to get runs. So any way you can find your way on at this point, you want to take that if you're Wasatch.
1-0 the count, 2 outs. Bruce Lewis takes a deep breath, delivers the 1-0. That one's in there for strike 1. Moves count to 1-1.
He is he's settling in here, Tyler versus Lewis. I talked early on that he was looking like he was laboring a little bit wild, and he still looks to be hittable to me, but he is settling in a little bit more. Looks a little bit more easy on his release, a little more confident.
He goes back to that sidearm off speed, but doesn't land it, so moves count to 2-1.
A way to maybe get your pitcher a little more uncomfortable is get him off the mound a little bit. Drag bunt here or there and see if you can get him a little uncomfortable.
Good barrel from Crew, 2-1, but it's right at the center fielder. And for the second straight inning, Wasatch goes down in order. No runs on no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. It's still 10-4 as we go into the bottom of the fourth.
Hi, friend. Are you ready for your next delicious meal? Come to the Dairy King, home of the train, where they're serving the yummiest food to friends and family in the valley. Come in and get a mouth-watering peach shake, peach cobbler shake, or peach raspberry shake. Dairy King, the winner of the Best of State for 18 years. They're celebrating their 75th anniversary. Bring a picture and a memory of being at Dairy King. Proudly serving the Heber Valley for 75 years. The Dairy King, home of the train, is serving deliciousness daily. Stop in today.
Timberline Ace Hardware is your full-line Benjamin Moore paint store. Visit them for your home projects, business-to-business, and contractor needs. And remember to ask about their delivery services. And they're looking for some cashiers. Apply today. And get your Carhartt wear, your cool outdoor clothing, and Wrangler jeans. Timberline Ace Hardware, located west of the Wasatch Wasps football stadium at 737 South Main Street, serving the Heber Valley for over 50 years.
This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Bottom of the fourth inning brought to you by Dorius Dental, who offers no surprises of dental treatment with doctors Dorius and Proctor. Let Dorius Dental make your mouth smile. Learn more at DoriusDental.com. Today's scoreboard sponsor. The scoreboard not on Wasatch's side right now. The Wasps trailing 10-4 to Cottonwood in the bottom of the fourth inning. Cottonwood has gone 10 unanswered runs on the Wasps after Wasatch jumped out to a 4-0 lead in the first inning.
Up for the Colts is Saran's going to swing at this one, pushes Tragun Shaw, the right fielder, back and makes the catch. Another good barrel, though, from the left fielder, but it does go to the right fielder, Tragun Shaw, who makes the out. One away here in the bottom of the fourth.
Hey, if you're Wasatch, though, that's what you need. Gage being limited on his pitches. You want quick outs, and Saran did them a favor. It was a good barrel, but just right at Shaw, who comfortably gathers it in. Gage now down to 39 pitches left in this one that he can throw, Ty.
Ball one here to Fox, a catcher. Singled in his first at bat and then had a fielder's choice. Ground out in his second at bat. He scored both times he reached. Ball two, moves count to 2-0. The 2-0 pitch here from Gage. That's in there, and that's going to be a base knock to left center field. This is going to be extra bases for the catcher. So a double with one out here for the catcher, Fox. Second hit of the day for the sophomore. And that'll bring up Green, who put one out in his last at bat, a 3-run home run for the designated hitter. Taking a look around the state, Ty, Spanish Fork, the number 1 seed, knocked off Maple Mountain 9-4 in their game yesterday. Number 2, Lehigh, beat Springville 15-5 in 5 innings, and Jordan.
But a strange one. You know,
yeah, go ahead.
7-5 between Springville and Lehigh going into the 5th inning. Then Lehigh, the home team, put 8 on the board and ended that thing. But that one, that score's a little deceiving. It went 5-0 for, I think, Lehigh early, right? And then Springville brought 5 right back in the top of the second. It was 5-5. And it just was a little bit back and forth early on. And so that 10-run deficit is a little misleading to how that game kind of went within the flow.
Moving to the Jordan game, they as well won in 5 innings, a 13-2 victory over the Uinta Utes in that 3-17 matchup. Another base knock here to the left center field gap as Green continues to stay hot. He's now got a home run and a double and 4 RBIs on the day for the designated hitter, and that moves the score to 11-4.
Yeah, he's having himself a good day at the plate, Ty. Doing kind of what Wasatch did to Cottonwood yesterday. Yeah. 7, 8, 9, the guys at the bottom of the lineup doing damage. That's hard to overcome. It's really the way to win the state tournament is get production throughout 1 through 9 in your lineup, especially those bottom guys.
Going to bring up the center fielder, Fiel. He's got a good day so far, a 3 RBI double in his first at bat and another double. And he's going to take one off the leg, and that's going to move.
Yeah, hit by pitch. Going to put runners on second and first. So the double play still in order here. After they'll send Green back to second. He thought he was going to have a chance to steal. The ball got by McPhee after it fell. But he's going to have to go back to second base.
Brings out the second baseman, Snow, singled and RBI'd in his first at bat, popped out to the right fielder in his second. 11-4 the score. Wasatch trails by 7. The pitch swung on, fouled off behind the backstop. Moves count to 1-0.
Ty, it's not that Gage is not capable of doing this because we've seen that he is, but over the course of this season, he's just never had to throw more than about 30 pitches per day. And so Wasatch is asking him to do something that just is not within the regular schedule of Gage over the course of the season. And you are starting to see the ball elevate a little bit more.
This curveball is going to be hammered down the third baseline. That'll be extra bases again. So back-to-back-to-back doubles here for Cottonwood. That one brings in a run as well, so it's 12-4. Here in the bottom of the fourth, the 10-run leading run is on second base after another double by the number 9 guy.
Yeah, and that's your mercy rule, right? They get that across and then get 3 outs, and this game's over, just like that.
He's going to bring up the top of the order, Burke. He's one of only 2 players right now in the lineup for Cottonwood that doesn't have a hit. Struck out, reached on an error, and then grounded out to the shortstop. Second and third, nobody out, or excuse me, 1 out. Infield cuts it off. Fastball too low. 1-0. Continuing down the scores, Brighton knocked off Olympus in a 15-4 matchup. That would be an upset. Brighton gets the 3-1 victory there. The 1-0 is delivered. That one's too far outside. Ball 2. Park City in the 6th spot lost to Salem Hills, the number 12 seed, 8-5. Woods Cross gets upset by Bountiful, 3-1, and then Orem beat Timpanogos 4-3 in game one. That's another upset. That curveball's in there for strike one, moves count to 2-1. Wasatch got the victory yesterday 12-1, but now are down 12-4 with runners on second and third with only one out.
Yeah, which of those you think will hold, Ty, if you're looking for upsets that are going to happen?
Fastball behind that one, moves the count to 2-2. I think Salem's going to end up beating Park City. That Olympus Brighton, just haven't seen either of those two teams, and talking to some people that went to that game, they think Olympus still has a chance to come back today and win that one. Although it sounded like their pitcher may have gotten hurt yesterday, so that's going to diminish the bullpen there. 2-2 the count. Gage delivers. Too far up, fills up the count at full. Woods Cross Bountiful. Bountiful won that series earlier in the year, so you got to assume that they've got a chance to close that one out today. Timpanogos Orem 8-9 region matchup. Rivals. That would be a fun one to go and watch today. Former head coach Carl Hermanson down there at Orem. Payoff pitch swung on and fouled off down the right field line.
Yeah, there's some really fun series that are going on here in this super regional round of 5A.
Snow Canyon won their game last night in the 4A state championship, so they have a chance to close that one out today against Crimson Cliffs, a new school down in St. George, already reaching it to the finals. Another payoff pitch is another curveball, and Burke does a good job of fouling that one off as well.
Well, Cottonwood's got to be feeling really good about where they are right now, Tyler, because pitching was a question for them. But you're in the bottom of the fourth, and you've got 1, 2, 3 with runners on second and third, less than 2 outs coming up. Chance to end this one early.
Another base knock. This one's going to bring in both runs. Tragun's going to try to throw him out at home, but this one's way off. Ty goes all the way to the backstop. Oh, no, Cray makes a good catch. But it's a 10-run game, 14-4 the score after a 2 RBI single by the leadoff batter, Burke. It's going to bring up the number 2 hitter, Nielsen. 2 singles and a ground out, 2 for 3 today. Also has an RBI. Went down the third base side and to left field. You mentioned likes to go to that pull side. So far today, both base knocks this way.
Yeah, and so what you can do, if you want to pitch this kid effectively, you hammer him inside with the hard one, maybe a little bit off the plate and start getting him leaning a little, and then go outside with breaking stuff.
Ground ball to the shortstop, Bucad. Bucad airmails it over the first baseman's head. Runners on the corners, nothing going right now for the Wasps. Carter, the most sure-handed fielder on the team for Wasatch, and he just let that one go a little bit too high, and it goes over the head. Runners on the corners with still only 1 out, 14-4 the score. First baseman Dozy up with good power. 1 for 3 today with the double to left field. Also had an RBI and has a run scored. Gage comes set with runners on the corners. Takes a peek, delivers. Strike 1 to Dozy. Gage takes a peek around the diamond. Comes set. 0-1 the count. Delivers. That one's too high. Moves the count to 1-1.
Well, if the score holds, Wasatch would fall in 5 innings here. They've got 3 outs to try to get a few runs on the board next inning to keep this one going.
Swung on. This one's going to be elevated into foul territory by the third base coach who's running away from it. Now comes all the way back in play, and it's dropped. Wasatch still gets an out at second base after Chet drops the pop fly, so the result is the same with still runners on first and third.
In fact, you may take that result. You're getting speed off of first base and putting a little less speed there. So let's have Chet just say he did it on purpose. He was frustrated with himself that he dropped it, but that's almost preferable for Wasatch to trade Nielsen for Dozy.
It's going to bring up Stinson, who's reached twice on getting hit by pitch twice and then flew out to right field. The lone Colt without a hit today in the lineup for Cottonwood. Gage misses low and outside on that one, moves the count to 1-0.
You know, Ty, if you want to analyze this a little bit more, I wouldn't hang your head too much if you're Wasatch in this one, even if this game continues to not go your way.
Stinson elevates one to left field. Crew starts back, now comes way forward and makes the catch. Wasatch has 3 outs to try to extend this game. The score currently 14-4.
But to finish that thought, Ty, I wouldn't hang your head too much because this Cottonwood team, they've hit nearly 400 in region play. And the region they've been in has been a lot of pitchers similar to Casey Anderson. This is what they do. They hit well against pitchers like Casey Anderson. Where they have not done well is against velocity pitchers like a Jackson Bolander. They have not done well against a Jackson Kelson, guys that can throw velocity and multiple pitches there. And who does, really? I mean, those are hard guys to hit in high school. But Wasatch, it's just so funny how these games go. Wasatch, 10 runs. Cottonwood yesterday. Cottonwood right back here threatening to 10-run Wasatch today. But the next one you could easily see going back the other direction for Wasatch. So, again, if you're Wasatch and if you're the coaching staff, you've got to keep your composure during these games because what you don't want to do is burn guys and burn situations that then would hurt you. And to give you an example here, Ty, is if this game ends here, yeah, that's not great because Wasatch lose game 2. But the positive is Gage, he still would have 20 pitches available even into the next game if you needed him to come in a tight spot and close it down. If you somehow get a run here and have to go again and you run Gage out again, he's now done for the day. He can't go for you at all in game number 3. And so there's different ways that you kind of need to think about that. And, yes, of course, you're hoping that Jackson Kelson can go 7 for you, and that would be the ideal situation. But that's just not always how it goes. And so you do want to leave options open and available for you as a team.
It's 14-4. As mentioned, Wasatch trails by 10 as we go into the top of the 5th. Top of the 5th action brought to you by Guild Mortgage. Tom Stone and Guild Mortgage and his team will help you find the perfect mortgage refinance that fits your situation. It will be painless and easy. Wilson, Bolander swap for the Wasps here in the top of the 5th inning. Chet, his first at bat, homered over the right field wall, a 2-run home run, flew out to left field in his second at bat. Verse Lewis still on the mound for the Colts. Can't land the off-speed pitch there, moves the count to 1-0. Bolander on deck, swap in the hole. The 1-0. That one is in there for strike 1. Moves count to 1-1. What about you, Ty, on taking a look around the state? If you had to pick the 8 teams that you think are going to advance, or 7, taking out this one, who do you like today closing out their series?
Yeah, I'm glad you take out this one because I really like Wasatch still in this series. I know it's strange to say when they're down 14-4, but I like the Wasps in this one. Salem, I would agree with you there for sure, Tyler, on that one. I wouldn't close the door on Springville. I wouldn't predict that, Tyler, but they're going to come back with Barrett, that little lefty sophomore, and see if they can win game number 2. And then in game 3, anything can happen at that point, right? And so kind of keep your eye on Springville, see what might be able to happen on that. But I do think you're going to get one more upset. Probably Bountiful ends up winning in their series as well.
2-2. This one smoked to left center field. Center fielder going back, makes the grab. Good play there from the junior Fiel. That was a good barrel there from Chet, but one away here in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, his swing looks good, though, right now. Tyler Chet's kind of come out of it, and that swing looks locked in. Ball died a little bit. We finally had the wind that's kind of died down. Sun's starting to come out, and that ball died in the field. Most balls have been carrying today. That one didn't.
Brings up Jackson Bolander. He singled in his first at-bat, ground out to the second baseman in his second at-bat. Had a triple yesterday. Takes strike 1 in the bottom of the count, or bottom of the zone. Payne swap on deck. Payne has a walk and the weirdest strikeout you've probably ever seen. That one's the off speed. That's too low, 1-1.
And doesn't that feel like this is not a positive moment of the game, but that was kind of the moment where Wasatch turned. They got really emotional all around the diamond after Peyton struck out on what was just a terrible, terrible call, a really odd situation that happened. And the team has never really rebounded and recovered from that point.
Goes back to the off speed and lands that one, so that moves the count to 1-2.
And Coach Jacobson's been good all year long about preaching not to be emotional. Don't let your emotions get the best of you. And Wasatch is going to be tested here. Can they come back and kind of rein in these emotions?
1-2 fastball, too far outside, moves count to 2-2. See who Cottonwood decides to go with in game 3 if the score stands. Nielsen is their next pitcher who has his next most innings, the shortstop. Wasatch saw him earlier in the year. The 2-2, too far outside as the first Lewis falls down on that one. Fills up the count to 3-2.
Well, not just him, the catcher also diving on his belly to stop that ball. Got bodies all over.
Full count pitch. Swung on and fouled off towards Coach Jacobson on the third base side. We'll reset at full. Well, it's a Cottonwood lineup we knew could swing it, and they showed it today. They had a lot of barrels yesterday as well, just right at Wasatch players, and this time they able to get it to fall and have exploded for 14-4. Another ground ball to the shortstop, Nilsson, who throws it across the diamond. That one's on target. 2 away here in the top of the 5th. Going back all the way to the second inning tie, that is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 batters retired in a row for the Wasps. Brings up Peyton Swap. Swap a walk and a strikeout. 375 coming into today in postseason play. Takes a pitch on the inside for ball 1.
This is not just a casual at bat here, Ty. I think this is an important at bat for Peyton. Every rep is a chance to get back on track here. So even in a game that's getting away, Peyton's swing has not been quite there, but that should help. That ball was a missile off the bat, caught, but that's a good-looking swing there from Peyton.
That'll do it for Game 2. Wasatch kind of gets shocked a little bit after winning 12-1 yesterday. They fall 14-4 here in Game 2. That's going to force Game 3. I think instead of doing a post-game show, we're going to throw back to some music. We'll be back on the air for Game 3. Wasatch still needs one win in order to advance on to Monday in that round. We'll take a break. Thank you for listening to 94.5 The Peak. Wasatch loses 14-4. We'll be back on the air in just a bit.